So welcome to Pipped Off, first episode. Booyah!
Episode number 1.
Episode number 1. But Michael, the question is, why are we doing a bloody podcast? Because we've done
Bored.
so many.
Isn't that what it is?
Huh?
No. Do you know what? Well, first of all, we miss working together, right?
True.
We miss doing something together. So we decided, right, we're both heading off in doing different projects. So this is our own joint project to bring us back together.
Yeah, and we're both pretty pipped off most of the time.
Both pretty pipped off because we're mental degenerates in the markets.
Yeah.
So it just, do you know what? The whole idea of Pipped Off was just a random domain name idea that I came up with, and I thought, do you know what? And I had different ones like Alpha Spoilers and all this sort of stuff, and then just Pipped Off just made sense. And you and I were just chatting, and I thought to myself, do you know what? There's that podcast, the Parenting Hell podcast, that two comedians from the UK have done. Started it in lockdown, where all the parents were stuck at home with their kids. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? There is no, and it's a massive podcast now, but there is no podcast in trading where people just genuinely talk about the hard stuff. You know, like there's all this psychology, this is my playbook, and this is all my, everything else. But nobody talks about do you know what? I just blew a massive account the other day, I just went full tilt. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. And I feel like that's missing. I feel like people need to hear just chilling.
And Pipped Off is also it just goes well because the amount of times where you're having you have a good week and then the next week it's like you give it all back, and you really are pipped off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
So, and people might get benefit from it. We both kind of just said, you know what, it'd be just good for just two of us have a laugh. And right, well, let's just record it and see if anyone else gets something from it.
Yeah.
So,
no, 100%. Well, I'll tell you what, I needed this. I 100% needed this because I've been a little bit tilty myself.
A little bit tilted. That's not like you. That's not like you.
No, but normally I'm better at controlling my tilt than what it is recently.
Than going full tilt.
Oh, full pelt tilt. Yeah.
Leaning in.
I sent in the group. I've had a few big days. I've had a few big days.
You had a very big day last week.
I had a nice big day last week, and I was pretty happy about that. It was a 10K day.
And it was last Wednesday, wasn't it? It was in the middle of the week.
Wednesday. It was a 10K day. I was like, that's nice. And I was already up. I already took a payout from FTMO at the time, which was already, a nice payout. Yeah. And I was like, oof. This could be a big one. This could be a big month. And I said in the group, I was like, oh boys, look at this. Great day. Not going to trade tomorrow.
So your exact words were, I'm done for the week. I'm done. Those are your exact words. Right. I'm done. That's it. Yeah. 10K. Brilliant. And I was like,
so in the account in total, I had about 17K of profits that could have been withdrawn. And all I had to do is wait for 1 week. I came in the day after, and I looked at the chart and I was like,
that's my setup.
I was like, that's a bread and butter there.
You just talked yourself into it, man.
I looked at it and I was like, that is my bread and butter setup. Do you know what? What's another $2,000? And $2,000? Just $2,000. 1%.
What was that your risk, you mean?
Yeah, another 2. No, yeah, it was like 1%. Put 1% on it. Go for it. Whatever. And I sent in the group, and I was like, guys, USD. I haven't seen this in a while. Last time I saw this, it was Trump. It was Trump tariffs or whatever, because my mind was set on this. The way that it was looking. Pound basically dropped down because of the 30-year gilts that were as high, like at all-time
Yeah.
highs. And we had a massive push down on the day, and then I was like, this is the retracement coming back into a 50 fib, whatever. And that 2000, I actually doubled it. I was like, I'm doubling the risk on this. This is bread and
You
butter.
doubled the risk.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to go heavy on this. I'm going to go, why not? Why don't I go heavy on this? And of course, not all the confluences were in place. And of course, I was tunnel visioned. And of course, I ended up losing that. And then I was like, well, that's shit. Okay, let's see if I can just get that back. And it tumbled down so bad. Tumbled down to the fact that, okay, I got to the 5% stop loss, 5% daily loss, and I stopped. I was like, okay, tomorrow, new day, blah, blah, blah. I could have stopped trading and still taken.
Hang on. So you were, let's be big clear. You were up 17.
I was up
right?
17.
Yeah.
And I basically
5%
lost around
equates to
about
what?
just under 5%. So I was around about 10K that I could have withdrawn. If I was a bit patient, I waited a week.
Yeah.
Coming the day after, I'm getting that 7K back. I want that big payout.
This is on a Friday, last day of the month, last day of summer. No big news coming out. Mm-hmm.
Gave it all back. The whole thing. And I actually went into a little bit of drawdown.
No.
So anyway, got that back. Eventually coming back into the market, the start of the month, the start of the week. And randomly, I was back break even, back about 1% up. And I looked at the charts and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I really don't care anymore. I'm just going to go massive in.
This was Monday.
This was Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which one it was. Monday or Tuesday. But I had enough kind of thing. Like I've been trading non-stop for the last 6 or 7 months, really, really, really pushing myself. And I've made great money and I've really pushed myself and I've really progressed.
Yeah.
And I got to this point where I was just like, you know what? I'm burnt out a bit and I want to reset. And I self-sabotaged everything. I just went full power and I just blew it absolutely everything.
I'm trying to find your initial message in the group that you sent on the Wednesday. I'm just scrolling up because it was then after that we were then like, let's do Pipped off.
Yeah.
So I'm going all the way back in our group to see if I can find the actual message.
Yeah. Now this is why I love prop as well, because
Mm.
prop can allow you to do that without downside risk. Like I obviously lost all my funding and all the evaluations that I was doing at the same time because everything is copied over. But what was my risk? I didn't know. I lost a couple of evaluations. I've already paid. My funded account was already risk free. So the grand scheme of things, it's not a big thing. But I tilted bad, and I'm still a little bit tilty now, to be honest.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm trying to get it back still.
It's revenge, isn't it?
Yeah. Trying to get it back.
Yeah.
And probably I'm a sucker for dopamine.
You got that dopamine.
Dopamine. Oh, it's great,
do you know what? This week, because I had problems with the dog and everything.
Yeah.
I was I stayed at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I felt really lost. Like this was the first week I wasn't live streaming. It was the first week that in I don't know how long that I was working from home, and I just felt like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And it was when you just said that about the dopamine, I was suddenly thinking, that's what I was missing.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was like there was just no dopamine. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous. That's the dangerous thing. Like dopamine as well. If you got if you're a little bit of an overtrader like myself,
or me,
got to understand when you're in the trade, the dopamine spikes. As soon as you close that trade, you automatically have your dopamine come back to a baseline.
Mm.
But actually, it doesn't really come back to baseline. It actually goes under, and you actually crash for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only way for your body to actually feel better is finding something to get that back up. But it takes a lot more to get it back up to its original state.
Yeah.
Which means you either get into a trade, or you get into a bigger trade, or you get into a losing trade. Because it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't know the difference between a losing trade, good trade, or anything. Even a losing trade will give you dopamine.
Yeah.
And that is the risk. So I've been thinking about this so much, and taking a break, even though it is one of the hardest things after a big win, is probably the only thing that I can think of that would actually probably help me not losing my ass.
Yeah. But the thing is, how long's a break?
Could be a break, could be just literally going for a 15-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
But now I probably need a week away from trading, because I've put myself into a state where I'm chasing. I'm not seeing the market objectively.
Yeah. So I got funded. Oh no, sorry, I didn't get funded. I passed phase 1 on a get leveraged account, right?
Yep.
And on 25k.
Nice.
And got that done in like 5 days or something.
Yeah.
Pretty much all based off one gold trade at the very beginning, and then it was just a case of getting the profitable days.
Yep.
And so I got the P2 I got on like the Monday pretty much straight away. I got to say, kudos to them. I didn't have to wait until midnight rollover. I hit the profit target. I only had one profitable day that I needed to do. And as soon as I hit that profit, it automatically triggered that I didn't have to wait for the rest of the day to get the P2.
Shame I'm not allowed to trade with them.
Well, mate, you're too connected. You're too connected.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I got that P2 account, and I didn't trade the P2 account until yesterday. So I got it on Monday. Yesterday was Thursday, and that was the first day I traded it, and because it was the first day I was back in the office, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get my head in the game. And I think I'm probably down. I need to check. I'm probably down about 1.5%. So I'm all. It's fine. It's not disastrous or anything.
That's doable.
But just like 3 days, pretty much not trading. I was like, "What? This isn't working. This isn't making sense." But the thing was, I was trading on C Trader, which I'm not used to trading with. I'm MT4, MT5 since year dot, since I started trading. Started on C Trader, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to do my risk to reward kind of setup, where I set up my risk amount and it automatically calculates your lot size, everything else. I just couldn't figure it out. But I was too kind of, let me just trade this. Let me just get in. I want to trade. So I was just trading fixed lot sizes and just managing my positions. And actually it worked. It works really well. It worked really, really well.
And then when you get it wrong,
you get destroyed.
Yeah, that's when you get
destroyed. Exactly. So yesterday, first couple of trades I was doing that. I'd reduced my size. So I was originally going in like one lot sizes on like forex pairs. So I cut that down to 0.25 lot size, but I was still just getting eaten all over the place. So I then yesterday afternoon I sat down. I thought, this isn't working. This has got to stop. So I stopped trading, but I also then looked into, right, how do I actually go back to how I normally trade, which is fixed risk percentage and not fixed lot size. And then I know that where my stop is going to go, it's that risk amount, rather than, doesn't matter where my stop's going to go because I'm not going to have a stop. I'm just going to put the stop where it is, and whatever the risk is, the risk will be what it will be, right? And yeah, I haven't traded anything today. We'll see how the markets look like because we're recording this pre NFP. I think there's going to be some moves today.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. But going off what you just said, that fixed lot size is an issue, because I did and do sometimes the same. when it comes, especially on those trades that happened. I was like, you know what? I was so overconfident, way too overconfident on that system, and that's something that I've been using for the last, forever, and it's always got such a high strike rate. When I looked back on it, though, it wasn't totally in play, and it was because I was just tunnel visioned on that. But I stuck on massive lots because I was so used to 50, 60 lots. I was just like, bang. And, and I was doing that quite a lot, just doing a fixed lot size. And then I kept on getting taken out before the move happened. And it's bad. The best thing to do is go back to the way of just fixed percentage, make sure your stop is in the right place and position size correctly. And that's what I know. That's what I know how to do. But for some reason in my head, that all changed. But one thing to do as well, and something that I didn't do after I got that big payout, was warm the account up first. Because when you get a new account, instead of just risking the normal amount, just get that little win. That little win.
Yeah.
Because it sets, for some reason, mentally, it just sets up the account better.
Yeah.
But when you go in normally and you're like eager and you get in that first loss or that second loss, then it puts, for some reason, mentally, it just puts the account on a little bit of bad taste, like a bad run.
100%. 100%. Do you know, that reminds me exactly of something that, we both know Tory Trades, right?
Yes.
She did a video the other day with her sister, Peyton, where Peyton had done her first $1,000 trade, right? And first of all, you got to give kudos to Tori, because she was just as pumped. Like, she's made literally trades now for the last 10 years worth thousands and thousands and thousands. Like, she's made something like $500,000 or something in trading now, right? But the way that she was so excited for her sister at having made $1,000 was just, you could just see she was genuinely sincere, like properly pumped for her sister, right? But she actually gave the exact same advice that you just said. She said to her sister, right, listen, just go and get yourself a small $100, $50, whatever. Just get yourself a $50, $100 win, just to kind of just reset yourself. Just reset yourself. And that wasn't after being funded or anything else. That was just because she'd gone and gotten this big, huge trade. She was pumped. She was like, yeah, this is great. And she just said, right, just get it out of your system. Go get a small win and just reset yourself.
Interesting.
And it was the same idea. Really, it was like a quick 10-minute video she shared on YouTube, and it was just go and get it out of your system.
That just shows me that, with experience, it leaves the same type of tracks. That experience of how many times has she done the opposite? How many times have I done the opposite? I haven't learned. I still fucking do it. But it is so true. It is just warming up an account or just getting yourself resetting, however you want to call it, is honestly probably the little hidden trick that I think everybody should use, especially after a payout, a new funded account, anything that could be a little bit more emotionally triggering. You need to get that little win.
100%.
On a losing streak as well. Like, sometimes it's only a little win away for you just to change everything up. But if you're constantly trying to get everything back and trying to hit the big one, and I say that right now with a USD yen trade with a take profit very far away.
I love it. I could just see you looking up at going, is it going? Oh, it's good. Oh, I can see you constantly looking away and just going, is it going in my favor or not?
It was like 10 pips up, and it was like, let's come back and we're pre-NFP, so what are we really going to do? But it's these little things as well, I think, are super important, and you don't get to hear about them too much, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, because everyone wants to show the Lambos, right? Everyone wants to show the big house in
everybody
Dubai,
wants to make money.
Of course, everyone wants to make money. That's why we're here, right? Why else would you trade? Right? You wouldn't trade for any other. Like, it is the It is the single hardest thing to do, I think, because you are, it is you, yourself, and nobody else, right? You can go and be a lawyer, you can go and be a surgeon, all of these other things, right? But you can't do those things without training and everything else. This is the single hardest thing with the lowest entry level, like the easiest entry level, right? You can be a nobody. You can open up an account and start trading, right?
Yep.
And you can lose yourself with no pre-training, no qualifications, no kind of sense checks. Do you know what you're doing or anything like that? Completely lost, absolutely lost without any guidance, without any help, and it's so easy to get lost in that TikTok, Instagram, YouTube world where everyone's like, I made 10 grand in this. This is the one, this is the edge. This is the strategy. Anyone can do this strategy, this, that, and the other. Oh my God. It's like, just shut up, would you? I can't be bothered to listen to all of these things now. It's so samey. That was the other reason we wanted to do Pipped Off, was because it's like, oh, do you know what? Can we just do something other than, hey man, look, this is what I made. This is my playbook. Oh yeah, and trying to be all humble and all this. Let's just be real, right? Let's just be real. 95% of traders are going to lose their money. 95% traders are not going to be profitable. So let's be like the 95%.
I see that though. I don't believe that statistic. I don't believe it, because
Yeah, but you've seen it.
I honestly feel that you can.
Yeah, of course you can.
The majority. I don't know about the majority. I think you can make great money in trading. Are you going to be an exceptional 1% trader? Maybe not. Probably not. Whatever. But I feel that if you do the right things and you get the basic strategy and you do it properly, I do think you have a bigger percentage of becoming profitable than you do than setting up your own business or something like. At the end of the day, it's all the bloody same. It's all the same.
Yeah.
The trading's the same. The business is the same. It's all the same. It depends how your mindset going in and how you do your market research, how you do your R&D on the product that you want to sell. Are you actually just doing something blindly, or are you doing something that is actually backed with some type of idea behind it? It's all the same. Bloody trading is the exact same as doing absolutely anything. The only difference is, it's more emotionally triggering. And the problem is, when it's emotionally triggering, you tend to make more mistakes.
Yeah, the one thing I disagree with, I don't think it's like business, because with business, there's too many outside factors. Whereas with trading, your success, what are the outside factors that can stop you from succeeding? But what I mean is that what's the competitors to stop you from? Because when you're trading, it's you, yourself, and the market, right?
Yeah.
There is, if you're open up a business, right, you've got competitors, you've got to find customers, you've got an economic downturn or whatever else. The market is always there. The market always presents opportunities. The market is always moving. Nobody else starts or stops you from trading. Nobody tells you to go and make a trade. Nobody tells you not to trade, right? It is you, and that's it. That's why I think this whole thing, I've got an edge. The only edge is you. Right, that is your edge, right? Is if you can master the monkey mind, or whatever they want to call it, then you've got edge. Because you can take the simplest of strategies. You could take Scruffy's strategy. You could take Tory's trendline strategy, right? These are really, 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 really easy strategies. The only thing that's going to stop you is you. It's not about having a customer. It's not about having competitors down the street selling the same product for cheaper, or do you see what I mean? All of those things. None of that. In a way, I think to a certain extent, the level of success rate with business is probably the same as on trading, but for different reasons. Because with a business, it's not, you can do your damnedest, you can do everything right, and you can still just not get there. And trading, trading is the same, but you can do your damnedest, you can do everything right and everything else, and there's no outside factor other than just market didn't go your way.
I think for the majority of retail traders are in this category, because obviously you've got the institutions, you've got the algos, you've got very efficient ways of extracting money from us.
Yeah.
They are very, very, very efficient at taking money from us. And obviously you've got the commercial side as well, obviously, with just if we're talking about like FX and stuff like that. But
let's be realistic. They're not hunting stops and all this rubbish. Right?
no, not saying it on that way, but a market is there to take money from one person to put it into a different place. A market is, there's always one person getting something for another thing. And at the end of the day, when it comes to, let's say, stocks or anything like that, the whole reason we've got a market is to get money from somebody and put it into a business. It's just that's all it is. And the same thing with it, like FX, now obviously all the speculation and stuff like that, it's a bit different, but it is there just to take money from us and put it somewhere else. And they're very good at doing that, especially if you're a day trader and your edge is you, and you've not got just a mechanical way of getting in and out the market, because it's not just a mechanical way. Like the same thing, we're very, very similar the way that we trade. Most people they've got different ways of doing it and stuff like that. But the controlling yourself is the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Like I could have had it all. I could have had it all.
You could have had what would you have done? I want to know, what would you have done if you'd got that 17K payout? You'd be getting it about now, wouldn't you?
Banked it into my personal account. That's the only thing that I'm doing now. I'm just trying to build up the personal account to a point where, to be honest, prop isn't the main focus. I'm not bothered about spending it or anything like that. I just want to just keep building and building, and I'm probably like hoarding at the moment. I'm just like a little hoarder of cash, and it's like kind of sad, actually. It's kind of sad that all I do, like I could be like doing. I see my little brother going on this festival holiday, banging chicks and doing all of this stuff. And
you said to me that it's too expensive to go back to the UK, right? As our holidays and this, that, and the other.
It is $1,000 to go to bloody London for a weekend. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Mate,
and
honestly,
that's the thing. Like maybe I don't necessarily now trade for money per se. I'm actually probably addicted to a different thing than the money. I'm not addicted to the money. I'm probably addicted to the challenge. I'm definitely addicted to the dopamine, and I'm addicted to seeing how I could beat this skill. I'm addicted. Just like probably a lot of people, if they don't want to say they're addicted, everybody's got to be. If you want to be good at something, you've got to be addicted. You have to get to go through the hard things of anything. You have to be a little bit over the top.
You got to be obsessed.
You got to be
have some kind of an obsession. Yeah.
And that's why I'm not bothered about it. And that's why I'm not. Some people say, "Oh, you got a gambling addiction." Yeah, I got a bloody gambling addiction. I'm bloody getting good at it. No, I'm joking. I definitely haven't got a gambling addiction, but
how's that tip off that you got on the horses the other day?
The tip off I got on the
horses. It was meant to be a joke of you being addicted to the horse. Yeah, okay, never mind. All right, let's just move on, shall we? Let's forget about Mike's attempt to do a joke there. It didn't work at all.
Which tip off did you take?
I didn't take any. You didn't take any. No, I used to look at the horses because there is like syndicates and stuff. But yeah, it's just.
I don't know how you get an edge in that.
It's all about long-term edge. It's all about just statistical gains. There's one guy that I found that does it on golf, and he has a system where he does it on golf bets where he's looking for particularly long odds, and he has a whole system mapped out for it, and does pretty well out of it. But it's not an income thing. You can't do it as an income thing because you'll go weeks and weeks and weeks without a win, right? But he treats it a bit like I treat my trading, where you go, right, small amount in on these, big odds. He has a minimum level of odds. If the odds are too low, he doesn't even bother. And then he bases it on, he's got this whole kind of system where he analyzes how players are on a certain course and all this sort of stuff. And if the odds are right, if the odds are good, then he'll put on, a percentage on each of these different players, depending on what he thinks, whether they're going to be top 3, whether they're going to win, etc., etc. And because the odds are so good, like we're talking like sometimes like 33-1 or 50-1.
So he's got a low strike rate, but when he wins it all back.
Yeah, and then some, it's the same principle.
It's the same. It's all the same. It's all the same stuff. You got these guys, obviously, in big institutions and stuff. Sometimes they've only got a strike rate of 10. Hedge funds or venture capital, they have a strike rate of picking the right companies. Sometimes less than 10% of the companies that they invest with actually make it.
Exactly.
And some of them actually go bust. I've got friends I got friends here that are in venture capital, and they've been open 10 years, and they've invested in a handful of companies, and only one of those companies actually made a bunch of money. But it's like, when you get the big one, you get it
sorted.
and you sorted. The difference is, and then you've got people that are different. They got really high win rates, and
they got to do a lot.
Going for like heavy risk, and they're just in, out, and it's just Scruffy's got a 90% win rate, but he only goes for a few pips each time, and he just goes small risk, and he just does over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. I think Rich does the same, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's quite a lot. I know quite a few people that do the same. Obviously, the lower your risk to reward, if you're only going for 1-to-1, then you need to have over 50% to even be to be profitable. So if you get 90, well, of course you're going to be hitting that non-stop. And to be honest, if I was them and I had that, I would be putting ridiculous amounts of risk on. So there's no right or wrong answer. And I think if you want to be good at this, you have to be obsessed, and you need to understand if you've got it or if you haven't got it, in all fairness. If you get to a point where, I haven't got it, and that's okay. There's another skill out there for you that you'll be better at with. And I think it comes to a time is like, are you progressing? And if you're progressing, great.
Yeah.
If you're not progressing and you're going backwards and you've been a long time in, then there's a question that you need to be, is obviously the opportunity cost worth it?
Yeah. We did have we had a couple of sessions before we even went, and
let's have a look.
When we decided to do this idea of Pipped off, and we had a few people put submissions in. So we had Louis, one of our regulars, on various different channels that we've been on, and he said, I've lost many accounts but went back to 0.01 lots until I stopped taking silly trades. Now my trading has become profitable. That's almost that's like a slap on the wrist and then some.
Focusing on solely on hitting and executing and the strategy, and without the money. That's a hard thing to do. That's hard.
That's like, do you know what, when you're doing something like that, you might as well just turn off the profit indicator, because that's what messes with you as well.
It's like putting your phone in black and white mode. You're not getting anything out of it.
That is like, you've got to just detox and then some.
That for me would be very, very, very difficult. And I'm being honest. For me to do a full black and white dopamine detox will probably do me fantastically, but it is going to be very difficult.
It's not in a place to do it right now.
I would be very scared to see what happens to me if I did that.
I would be very scared to see what would happen to you as well, to be honest. It'd be great content. I'm not sure it would be good for you to go through. Well, it might be. I don't know.
A whole dopamine detox without anything.
Imagine.
That means no women. That means no
it's not happening.
trading.
This isn't happening.
No,
No.
you know,
Let's
no phone.
let's find something a bit more realistic, shall we? For you, let's I don't know what I don't know what's more realistic for you
To stop doing.
to stop doing.
Stop complaining and just get on with it, I guess.
Oh man. Or just listen to yourself when you say, I'm not going to trade tomorrow. Then don't trade tomorrow. Or just have a second account that you go full tilt on. You know? Like rather, because you copy across your trades, don't you? You have a trade copier. So when you're in on one account, you're on all of them.
Everything.
Yeah.
Even personal.
So maybe what you need is you just need to take one of those out. Just take one of them out and leave it to one side. Keep it active, obviously, right? But when you have one of those big days across the important accounts, the next day you just say, right, the important accounts, they're parked, and you still get your
fix
or whatever through this, like, redundancy account sort of thing.
Or should I just learn to start being a bit more disciplined?
Yeah, who wants to do something like that? That sounds boring.
That's the thing, I say this, but it's like the more that you fight against yourself,
lean into your skills, lean into your personality.
I agree.
If it goes against every grain of your being, of who you are as a person, everything else, why fight it? Why not lean into it and just do things that mitigate it, rather than trying to force yourself to do things that don't work for you? Surely that's better, isn't it?
I agree.
I
agree. The moment that I started to accept that I was impulsive, that I was not patient, and that I am risky, is the moment my trading actually changed for the better.
Because you stopped trying to control it, right? You stopped trying to,
I stopped trying to control it, and then it was like, because I was trying to control it, the side effects from trying to control it, the outcome was even worse. So when I just accepted and just allowed myself to flow and just do what I had to do, suddenly I started making more money.
Do you know, I think it's the same with people, like if you've got, I've got OCD, right? So I'm like a bit of a perfectionist that, we were even setting this place up and you're like, right, I give you the hex code so we get the right colors on the background, everything else, right? That's just who I am, right? I'm like, no, that's the wrong color. No, let's get it right. People with ADHD, people with all these different kind of neurodiversity things, right? And they try to fight it and they try to, conform to what society tells them to do. So, do you know what? Just get on with it. Just lean into it and use it as a superpower rather than use it as a limitation or as an excuse of a limitation. Lean into what it gives you rather than what it stops you from doing. And because there's so many ways to skin a cat. Come on, you can make money in so many different ways trading. Right? It doesn't all have to be, well, this is my strategy. You've got to do this is the way. That's not it.
That was one of my bugs with a lot of influencers and trading gurus. I'm fine with influencers, educators, gurus, and all of that kind of stuff because they're doing their thing. If it works, it works. Whatever. I really don't look at them in any type of way. The only thing that I don't like is when they tell everybody that there's only this way and that every other way is just wrong.
Yeah.
Because I know that's not true.
Yeah. Oh, this is the only way that you're going to make money. This is the simplest strategy. This is the best way. Why
you shouldn't day trade? Why you shouldn't be on the 1 minute time frame? Why
you shouldn't be a swing trader? Why you shouldn't be a swing trader?
Yeah. Why you should stay away from forex? Who cares, bro?
They'll hook everyone in with the Lambos and the big mansions and all this other stuff, which is all fake anyway.
Well,
for a lot of them.
Fine. Okay, maybe. If they're all great. But it's just marketing 101, isn't it? Because you basically take a person that's in pain, and i.e. not profitable,
Here's a solution.
boom and bust, struggling. Solution is, this is the thing that you're actually missing, and you haven't got to where you are because this is the thing. It's just marketing 101, and they've in Alex Hormozi did a fantastic job of that in his last book promotion. I don't know if you got to see some of the stuff that he does, but it was literally just one by one, like breaking down all of these different things of why you need this, why you need that, why you're in your pain right now, and all of that kind of stuff. And marketing is fascinating in stuff like that, and it's just good marketing. But that's why I don't like it, because I know sometimes people are in that pain because they just haven't really sat with themselves, and
it's too manipulative. The marketing leans into your weakest, the weakest link, the weakest desires, right? It's like, this is what you're aiming for. This is the answer to all your problems. And it's like that. I think that's where, like with the AI thing and everything else, like people are really pushing back against it because it's just inauthentic. It's not sincere. It's not true. And it's all a bit samey. And that was the other reason we wanted to do this, was because we wanted to do something where it was like, let's just talk about how much it hurts. Like the number of accounts that I have blown is literally on my Fiverr's account. You have the number of pages for the number of accounts you've had. I'm well over 10 pages. Well over 10 pages, right? But I treat that as my education.
100%.
So I haven't gone in and I haven't said, right, okay, because I know some people have paid like thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars on courses and everything else, right? I've never been somebody who is studious and who will sit down and do all of the homework and all that. That's not who I am. I learn by doing. Learn by doing, learn by burning myself, getting burnt, get back up again, try a different way, figure it out. And it's that whole muscle memory thing of of understanding, how does something work, how does it play out. That's how I learn, right? But if you don't lean into that, then you're just forcing yourself to do it a way that everyone else tells you to do. There is no right way. It's just do what works for you. But as you said, it can only be done if you understand yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went through all of this and eventually came to all of that conclusion that I said before, and just looked at all my strategies and just said, which is the one that makes me the best?
Yeah.
Which is the one that, intuitively, every time I see it, every time I hit it, it hits and it wins.
Yeah.
And cut everything else out. And suddenly, there you go. Bang. Yeah. Super. Sometimes it's super simple, but we tend to clog our minds up always with things that are blocking us from the actual objective. Let's say my psychologist has a really good way of saying this. She says, you've got a goal. So let's say you've got a park bench. Your goal is to go and sit on the park bench. But instead of going around and sitting on the park bench, you notice there's a puddle in the middle. And you're focusing on the puddle just to wait for it to actually, the puddle to disappear before you actually go to the park bench. And we're always filling that puddle with things. You're always waiting for that puddle. I'm going to do, before I can get this, I need this. Before I can, have a family, I need to have this. Or before I, become a profitable trader, I need to learn all these different strategies. And it's always filling and focusing on the puddle instead of just going around it and actually doing the things that are actually going to get you to the objective.
Yeah.
And cutting out that noise in the middle is important.
Do you think that's internal noise or external noise?
Internal noise.
Internal noise. But do you not think externally impacts it?
Everything that you do everything that happens impacts it, but you need to be able to understand yourself a little bit and be aware of this thing to be able to try and control things as well. There's everything. You're never going to stop things from interfering, but if you are focused on a specific thing, it doesn't matter how much noise tries to come in. If you are fully focused, then you can still navigate around that. But if you let that noise in and then that goes into the puddle and then you're focusing on the puddle and you're not focusing on the objective, and then you just allow things to come on. I got that problem now. I just feel in my puddle is women. Puddle is women, man.
You know, this is going to be a publicly broadcasted podcast, right?
Yeah, probably. And you're probably going to see it anyway. And
oh man.
But it is the amount of times I've saying, there's these certain things that I need to be doing, and then I just fill, the things to distract me, my puddle, with different little things. Everybody's got their puddle. Everybody's got the thing that they're filling when they're not actually doing the thing that they should be doing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's a good start to the podcast.
I think it's a really good start. It's a really good start. There's a couple more submissions. So we had Louis submit one. We had an anonymous submission as well. It says, a few years ago, I managed to get my first funded account with a company that I will not name, that I discovered through a trading influencer that I respect who was promoting them. Back in those days, I was risking 1% per trade and trading one-to-ones, and over the course of the month, had 10 wins and 8 losses, giving me a net profit of 2%. Requested what should have been my first ever payout, and it was rejected because they had a rule that no more than 25% of my net profit could be from a single trade. In other words, because my net profit was 2%, none of my trades should be above 0.5%. This rule was not mentioned anywhere on their website, FAQs, or any other documents. Worst part, not only was my payout rejected, but they claimed they had to remove all trades on my account that breached this rule. In other words, all trades on my account that made over 0.5% had to be removed. So I went from a 2% profit on the account to 8% drawdown, max drawdown 10%. Honestly, that experience shook me to the core and had me convinced the entire industry was a scam. Luckily, I discovered more reputable firms.
Scam.
Doesn't it just make your blood boil when you hear that?
That pisses me off.
Yeah, me too.
That pisses me off because you take the risk, you put in a lot of time, a lot of an emotional expenditure, trying to pass. You make money, and if that happens, I have no time for any firm that ever does anything like that. Now, I took an account out with another firm, and their trading conditions, slippage, this, that, and the other. I was like, I'll never, ever trade. Sometimes you need to just pick the right bloody firm, and it is unfortunately, it's not your fault, but it is your fault if you go back again. You have to do your due diligence. You have to find the right firm. You have to find the people behind it. You have to be sure that if you're going to take the effort and the time, that you're actually going to reap the rewards of actually passing and doing it.
I mean, look at it from this perspective, right? You go on holiday, right? What do you do when you're going on holiday? You go and check the reviews of the place you're going to stay, right? Any of these other things that you're going to do in your life, you go and you check the reviews because you're going to be giving out your money and you want to make sure you're going to get value for money and you're going to get a good service or get a good quality of product or whatever it might be, right?
Yep.
Any of these things. Now, prop firm, okay, the bar to entry is quite low for certain accounts, right? You could get a 5K funded account for like, what, $40-$50, right? So yes, but I'm sorry, in certain parts of the world, especially places like India and stuff like that, that's a lot of money. This is a lot of money that people are putting into firms with the hope that they are then, they're marketed in a certain way and they're going to get funded and they're going to get payouts and this, and it can genuinely be life-changing. It really can.
Yep.
But unfortunately, there's just so many people that are getting caught out by these scammers, with their YouTube ads or the TikTok ads or the influencer that's getting kickback for every God knows how many people that click through their link on the affiliate link and everything else. There's a reason why this stuff is there, because it works and it generates revenue and it generates income and everything else. But
which is also not a problem if the firm.
No, it's not. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with a legit firm doing that because it's beneficial for the influencer, it's beneficial for the firm, it's beneficial even for the traders, right? Because they're finding a good legit firm.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like some traders just need to wise up a little bit, don't you think? You know, and just
I made that mistake though. I went instead of going in and buying a 5K account and just checking how the conditions were and seeing how it was. I knew somebody that worked there, and I'm not talking about get leverage, but I'm talking about know somebody that worked in this one company over in the UAE, and it was a 200K account. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Soon as I got on there, I was
It's
like,
about $1,000 to buy it, something like that.
it was about $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, this is really bad. And kind of gave me the taste of because I've already started using it now. They won't refund me. I kind of had the just taste. So I'm not trading with these guys. I'm just gonna blow it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a bit annoying, but it's also my own fault. It's my own fault because I didn't check before. I was told by the person that worked there that the conditions aren't the best. But I was like, you know what? Because she works there, then I trust that when I pass, I'm going to get paid out and I've got no problems with getting paid out. And then it just turned out the conditions, on euro dollar, you got a 2 pip spread and that's on euro dollar. It's like,
no.
And then even the
trade
split,
something like that,
even the fills are just off. And I'm just like, and especially if you're trading big lot size, like I'm trading big lot size, sometimes 50, 60 lots, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's tons of money. So that's stick to the right firms, do your due diligence, practice, go 5K, check. As soon as you know that they're legit, as soon as you know the conditions are good, as soon as you know these things, then start putting a little bit more money behind it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Because otherwise, you just like that. And anonymous, hope you're listening. But man, that sucks. That sucks. Really, really sucks. But I'm glad you found more reputable firms. And one last submission from Sam. Sam says, "Hi, I'm 21 and I've been trading for 3 years. I've been funded twice and unfortunately didn't get a payout either times. It is because I'm a firm believer of sneezing the markets for every penny when your edge is working, and I was up 6% the first time and 8% the second time. But due to a series of bad trades and greed, I spiraled off to lose the accounts. Now I've developed a system of what to do when I'm in drawdown, when I'm in good drawdown and bad drawdown, both. I think you make mistakes quite a few times in the markets, and when you do have a plan, having plans helps your psychology and prevent tilt. It's true. Having a plan, right? What do I do when I'm in this situation?
And Sam and I sound very similar.
Yeah.
I will try and squeeze everything.
Yeah.
Because I know I have an edge, and I try and squeeze everything. But for him to turn around and be like, okay, I know the issues.
Yeah.
I'm mitigating those by doing this, and this.
Yeah.
Sam sounds like a guy that is on the road to making good money.
I mean, I've been funded now 7 times, I think, and I'm still waiting for that payout. 7 times in the last year and a half. I had a gap between September last year and August this year of getting funded, and of course blew that funded account.
And how long have you been trading though? 2 years.
2.5 years, almost 3. Yeah,
You got
almost
more
3
to
years.
go.
Oh, I've totally got more to go.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm giving up.
I've been doing this since 2018, and only the recent couple of years I've been making money. Like, I've been boom and bust a lot. I've made big money, lost it all many times, especially in crypto. At a
Melania. Thanks,
wow,
Melania.
no, those are gambles. Those are like, if you saw some of the crypto coins that I've got in,
Thank you, Memdex.
Should we tell the story? So first time I ever met Michael was when we were bringing him on to do an educational project that I was in for the Fivers. And I met Michael. Michael comes in and we're just talking, and I was like, oh man, I missed out on that Donald Trump coin, man. And he goes, oh, but didn't his wife just open up a new one? I was like, what?
But hang on. hang on
five.
a second.
I can't. No, it might
You
have
got
been
in at the
10 soul. I stuck in
you
that thing
you got in at the top, right?
at the top. You
And it
couldn't
just
get
came all the way down, right?
into a higher price.
But what got to me was everybody that you then spoke to after was like, "Oh, Mike shilled me Melania. Mike shilled me Melania." And I was like, "I didn't. All I did was tell you. You were the one who just decided to go full tilt 10 soul into the damn thing."
Oh no, it's definitely
You know?
not tilted.
Oh
I
man,
was. I was
that
like,
was
this is it.
mental. That was
I was
like
definitely not.
FOMO or what? It was
Yeah,
like
I was just,
Trump going. I
sometimes.
missed Trump because I'm going in on Melania. Man alive. Oh, that was so funny. And then I was in on Memdex.
Mm,
Memdex. I'm still holding my Memdex.
do you know? It's always the ones that you actually don't expect are always the runners, and it's always the ones that you have an expectation and you think are going to be the ones.
Yeah.
Tend not to be, and it happens actually. If you think about it, it actually happens a lot in life where
Mm.
you have an expectation or you think, okay, this is something, or this is, I've passed this test 100%, I've passed this test, or
Yeah.
this person's the one, or whatever, or I'm going to make this money on this strategy.
Yeah.
It tends to actually be the opposite, and I don't understand. I
True.
don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's probably
Ones
the
that you don't
focus that you
expect.
put on these things, isn't it? It's like when you try to push something too hard or force something too. It's like in a trade
Force.
as well. It's when you
Friend,
force it.
yeah, a friend and I spoke about this the other day.
Hmm.
Forcing something tends to, it's like putting two magnets at the same side together, and you're trying to push them together, but they're just sometimes just letting things just flow. Wow, it sounds corny as shit. This is going to turn into, well, I might as well just get my bloody matcha and go and do yoga. Flow, dude.
This is pipped off, man. What are you doing?
It is picked off.
Just ruining the cred. You're ruining
Yeah, I
the
know.
cred of this podcast on the first episode. What's that all about?
Yeah,
Honestly,
but it's true.
It is true. It is true. It is very, very true. But Sam, yeah, going back to your point, sounds like you're definitely on the right path. Those are our submissions for this week. We'd love to hear more. So if you've got a submission, pippedoff.com, head on over there. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your email address. You can be completely anonymous if you want. And yeah, we'd love to see these stories because we've got plenty of stories. But the whole point of this is supposed to be cathartic. It's supposed to be like,
a little bit relaxed.
Yeah, a little bit relaxed, a little bit chilled, and let's just share in the misery. Let's share in the misery of NFP or God knows what else going against us, and getting destroyed, losing our asses, as you like to say.
And also the wins as well, because those wins,
Oh,
wins can be terrible. I'm sorry, wins can be amazing, but at the same time, they could be such a detriment.
Did I tell you that one of those trades that P1 that I did the other week, one of them I think was on pound Aussie, I think it was, or pound. It was like pound CAD or one of these random ones. I ended up with 14 positions open on this thing.
That was the same day. I tilted. That's the same day. Do
We
you know
we were
what?
like sync that day.
I was just so numb to it. I was just like, wow, I'm so numb. And then I sent you a message and you were like, yeah, well, look, I'm 16 positions in. And I just burst out laughing. I was like, finally, I can feel something. Finally, like a little bit of any kind of emotion, because I was just numb after that. And
Oh
then
man,
you just made me laugh. And then I was just like, you know what? It doesn't really matter.
it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't
And you
really
know what? We can, and that's where the idea of Pipped Off came from. It's like, this is where we've got to share in the misery. We've got to share in the laughs and the jokes, because there's so many psychology, and you do this and this is the strategy. And it's like, can we have something that's just not so polished? Like, I don't mind doing something professionally, but it's like, get rid of the over glossiness, just
trust.
be a bit more real and be a bit more honest, be a bit more authentic, and just open up to what everyone else is feeling,
Yep. But there
maybe
you go.
maybe it'll give some people some comfort, some food for thought, or maybe it'll just give them a laugh at our misery. Who cares? But yeah, that is I think that's it for episode 1.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining in if you have joined in. And definitely go to pipped.com. We want all of your stories. Anonymous, put your name, you know,
Absolutely.
and
And if you want to join us as a guest as well, you know,
yeah,
if you want to join us as a guest on the podcast, then also
hundred percent,
let us know.
100%.
We would love to hear from you.
We'd love that.
All right,
Okay.
buddy. I'll speak
See
to
you
you next
later.
week.
All right,
Ta-ra.
mate. Nice one. Bye.